Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum.
I'm so glad that He-Man rumor was a rumor. I'm so glad that they took him away from that, because that would have been horrible.
No, it was an April Fool's joke. It was
They,
April Fool's.
they gave it to a lady, I heard, to rework the whole thing. Apparently, the director who was thinking about, like, who did all the front work on it just left, and they gave it to this lady to do. So hopefully it works out.
I'll admit I liked him in White House Down, Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
He was okay in that, but I have to go with Olympus Has Fallen just because it reminded me of of an 80s action movie. And in my opinion, that's what Rambo 5 should have been like, be.
Yeah, for sure.
You got Rambo back home. You got Rambo back home, and now he can do. Now he went through this journey of inner peace. Now he's home, and now he's discovering his true destiny, which is to help people in his country. And then this story of Olympus Has Fallen happens.
Mm-hmm. I like that movie too. I thought that was great. Olympus Has Fallen. We watched both of those movies, but I remember, I don't know, there's just something about Gerard that's more, he's viable, you know, like, once you get into him in a character, he's really good. Like Leonidas in 300, as Leonidas, I thought he was great. I think it's Leonidas. You know, he's just, even some of those romantic comedy movies he does, like the one I think is
Jennifer. Yeah, he has a good sense of humor in real life. He has a good sense of humor. I love that guy. I love that guy. Which is why my favorite movie with him is Olympus Has Fallen.
Yeah,
I love that movie. A lot of people say that's what Die Hard 5 should have been like. I know people trash on Die Hard 5, but in my opinion, it would have worked better if it was Rambo 5.
Yeah. I think like 300, they did that here. They did that in town. I remember my friend Shiraz met Gerard Butler in a bar one night. It was after, though, and stuff like that. And he was saying, "Oh my God, I met Gerard Butler." He's always got pictures of him with celebrities. He's always just meeting them like randomly. He met John Malkovich. Just weird stuff. But yeah, like, I could definitely see Olympus Has Fallen as a Rambo movie. That's like, you know, the lone.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that one.
Did you see White House Down yet?
White House Down. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one. That's the one with Jamie Foxx.
And Channing Tatum, yes.
Yeah, I saw that one too. That's alright. It was okay.
Yeah, it was a fun action movie. It was PG-13, but like I said, I like the Olympus Has Fallen better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm just, PG-13, over here PG-13 is really bad, because over here PG-13 is G. It's general admission. Like we were in the States, and we went to see Wolf of Wall Street. And I remember walking out of the cinema, looking at my ticket, and the ticket said 18 over. I was like, oh, that's cool, And when I got back home, it was 16 here. PG-16. And I was like, whoa, wait a second. There was a lot of stuff in that movie, like...
Oh.
Yeah.
I heard a lot about that movie. I have to check it out myself.
Was Rambo 4 rated R over there, or was it here?
It was.
Here it was 16. Yeah. Our ratings are...
Did they show all the violence? Did they show all the violence, or just a little bit of it?
No, all of it. All of it.
Oh.
Yeah. The crowd got pretty into it, I gotta say. Like the crowd, like the throat ripping scene, the crowd was like, oh. And then the 50 caliber scene, the crowd just went crazy.
Was it how big? How big was the theater?
We went to see it at Guzzo, and I guess maybe like 200 seats, maybe 200, maybe 300. It was pretty big. It's a pretty big cinema. Mind you, I might be totally wrong about 300 seats, but I'm pretty sure it was somewhere around there. Oh no. Yeah, sorry about that.
No problem. what were you saying about the theater? How big was the theater?
I'm pretty sure it was 300 seats, somewhere around there, like between 200, 300. But I could be wrong. It could be smaller. But it's a pretty big theater. It's weird about that.
How did the audience react when Rambo killed the final boss, the bad guy, when he gutted him? How did the audience react to that?
The
music kicked in.
You know what's weird about that? Is because apart from the beginning of the movie, there's not a lot of that Jerry Goldsmith theme until the end. And when Rambo's gutting that guy, and that look on his face, when that Jerry Goldsmith type score kicked back in, I think Brian Tyler did an awesome job on that. Everybody was just like, wow, And a lot of French people in the audience too. A lot of French cussing, when the action was going on. It was pretty awesome. And it's cool because when I went to see Rocky Balboa in a theater, at the end, when him and Tarver are in the ring and they're fighting, and Tarver breaks his hand, and then the battle music starts kicking in. Like how in the first couple of movies had that battle music kick in? The crowd went fucking crazy. Like, they really loved it. So, it was awesome. It was pretty awesome.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I went to go see it at a midnight showing, and the special midnight showing on the day of the release, and I just had a blast because I never saw a Rambo movie on the big screen. The seeing that was just something I would cherish forever, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a dream come true for me too.
Me too.
I really love the fact that they went all the way for it. They really went all the way with it. It was pretty.
Yeah, because that showed what was actually going on in that country, Burma.
Yeah, yeah. It was pretty terrifying too. And the thing that struck me was, the beginning was so graphic, but they kept the graphic presence all the way through. They didn't.
Yeah, that was the way to bring the story across, to make it what it was.
Yeah, it almost was. It almost didn't even feel like a Hollywood movie. It felt very different, which is very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad they brought back that fantasy of this hero, which was back what they did in the 80s of this fantasy of having a hero like that to take care of something like that. Because Rambo back then, he was treated like Superman.
Yeah. Yeah, especially after First Blood Part 2. It was
Absolutely.
Boom, yeah.
Yeah, I had remember the Rambo action figure I had. I remember the video games, of course, the cartoon show. I remember, and of course the inspiration it did for different movies, especially Commando. And Commando was the movie that introduced me to Arnold Schwarzenegger. And don't get me wrong, I love the second Rambo movie. If I had to choose between a Rambo movie or Commando, I have to go with Commando.
Commando kicks ass. Arnold was amazing in that. Like, oh my god. I know what you mean. I love them both. You know, like, I can't.
I like them equally, but the most out of that, I go with Commando.
Yeah, Commando was great. Commando is awesome. You know, like, let off some steam, Bennett.
Oh, yeah.
I lied.
I lied. That's the movie that introduced me to Arnold, man. Arnold is my idol because of that movie. And the coolest thing about going to how Rambo, how people were ripping off The Matrix and how people were ripping off Rambo back then. And when I look at Commando, some people call Commando a Rambo ripoff, but you know what? Commando became his own thing. Arnold did his own thing with that movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I remember, like, I think I was in grade school when that came out, or at the end of grade school, and this kid, Chris Thomas, taped it off of the TV, and, you know, like, our parents wouldn't let us watch anything like that, you know? So we would, like, sneak over to his house and watch Commando. And, like, that whole ending, you know, it's like, he had that ending on loop, you know, rewinding that over and over. That ending was crazy, like, the last 20 minutes, oh my god, 30 minutes.
Oh, man. He took all those people all by himself. Of course, the last scene with Bennett, let off some steam, and of course at the end with that song, Fight for Love. I love that song. Yeah. Love it.
I miss those days taping, like, the movie of the week and, like, listening to the song at the end, just, like, rewinding the song, letting the credits roll, listen to the song, you know? Stuff like that.
I did that, yeah. I did that with that. Because I had that movie on tape. My parents didn't care. We watched everything. We didn't care what rating it was. When we went to the movies or watched movies, we didn't care what rating. We just watched some stuff.
Yeah.
And I had Commando on VHS tape. I had a VHS tape, I remember, where they had 3 movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger. The first one was Commando. The second one that played after that was the first Terminator. Oh, yeah. And the third one is a very underrated movie called Raw Deal.
Raw Deal. His trigger has all the answers. I bought that, like, I only ended up seeing that movie last. Like, I know I saw it when I was a kid. I just didn't remember it. And then I got it in, like, the $5 bin. That and Red Heat.
I love Red Heat.
Yeah. When he rips off that wooden leg, cocaine, and he, like, pours the cocaine. Yeah, both of those are amazing.
Raw Deal and Red Heat, where they were both filmed in Chicago. Raw Deal and Red Heat, they were both filmed in Chicago.
Yeah, I love at the end when they're playing the chicken game, the bus says Montreal on it. That was awesome too. Yeah, those really good movies.
I love that movie. I love that movie.
We were gonna watch Last Action Hero the other day. We couldn't find it. It's around.
That's a very underrated movie. I don't get why people bash that movie at all.
That was a great movie. It's weird because that came around at the same time as Demolition Man, and somehow Demolition Man got all the praise. I would have thought, honestly, that Last Action Hero would have taken Demolition Man. the cinematography is so different between both of those movies, you know.
And funny is, Demolition Man was R-rated, and Last Action Hero was PG-13, and they both came out with action figures for these 2 movies.
Yeah. Well, here Demolition Man was 13. I think maybe it got the R in the States because of the head at the end. The head falling off.
Heads up!
Yeah. But I remember they let us into the theater for that one. We actually got to see that in the theater. But yeah, like, Last Action Hero, I wish I would have saw that in the theater, because it turns out I actually love Last Action Hero a lot more than Demolition Man.
I don't get why people bash that movie at all.
Me either.
At all.
It's so creative. Like, when you think of how they put that together.
About being in a movie that you love.
Yeah.
It deals with that fantasy.